because at that time that was Stone Cold Steve Austin's wife. So they gotta brew the animosity. They gotta make it to this point where they can't stand each other, and that's what made this rivalry. That's another reason why this rivalry was so historic on all levels because of how Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock sold their characters. I mean, they just again, it's just like Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They sold their characters to the point where they made you think the Heat was reality. Like I'm watching these two, and when they did the interview, like I said about with Jim Ross and Stone Cold Steve Austin, when that interview was done, they seemed like they was about to fight in the locker room. They was about to go at each other then. So basically, for me, and then like I said, basically for me, what this rivalry comes down to is the fact that both these iconic wrestlers were just great during their time. They were great. Both of them, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. I enjoyed watching the match, even though I was disappointed that The Rock lost at WrestleMania, lost the WWF Championship at WrestleMania, and the match itself was great. And to be honest, it kind of reminded me of when Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart wrestled at WrestleMania 13 because both these wrestlers were going at each other. They both busted their head, busted each other's heads open. And of course, they're going back and forth. Stone Cold Steve Austin executes his famous stunner, Stone Cold Stunner on The Rock. Of course, The Rock kicks out multiple times. And The Rock, rock bottom Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he kicks out multiple times. And then also, The Rock even executes a stunner. Of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin kicks out. And Stone Cold Steve Austin executes a rock bottom, and he kicks out. So keep in mind, the match is going back and forth, back and forth. Keep in mind, no disqualification match. So, all out the blue, Vince McMahon comes walking down, and okay, we still don't know which direction it's going to go. Because everybody knows Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon. I talked about that in my segment when I was talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, his brief history with the company, his history with the company. Everybody know they're, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, they couldn't stand each other. And again, they sold their characters, so they had the fans thinking that they hated each other. I don't like to use that word, but yeah, they had the fans thinking they hated each other. So when you see Vince McMahon come down, you're thinking, oh, he's gonna he's gonna find a way to put Austin in a position to lose this match. So again, as the match is progressing, we see that actually Vince McMahon is helping Stone Cold Steve Austin win the match. And there's, multiple chairs being used on The Rock and so forth. And then eventually, of course, Rock kicks out, but it just got to a point where it just was too much. Finally, after The Rock kicked out of, and I want to say it was a chair shot. It was like a chair shot. The Rock kicks out of that, and then of course Stone Cold loses it. He takes the chair and he just unmercifully whoops The Rock with the chair. And that's how Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the title, the WWF Championship. So after that match, after that iconic match, of course, they go their separate ways. And from what I've heard, that match in particular, where Stone Cold actually became a heel, it kind of lightweight took the buzz away from Stone Cold. Not too much, but it took a little buzz as far as Stone Cold being, that iconic Stone Cold Steve Austin that everybody, grew to love and cheered for. It kind of took some of the buzz away from that because after that, Stone Cold kind of had differences with the company, and I think he ended up leaving the company because of those differences. But keep in mind, it took Stone Cold Steve Austin 7 years to actually, finally become a main eventer and become the Stone Cold Steve Austin, legendary, great, iconic wrestler that we know today. Well, just basically that we know today. Yeah, it took him 7 years to become that, which, as far as The Rock, it took him a year to get over. and become a main eventer and become the iconic, legendary superstar that people grew and love and cheered for. So basically, um, Stone Cold leaves the company, and then The Rock, of course, The Rock takes off. Rock has a great run. He's becomes WWF champion multiple times, of course. Then once they switch from WWF to WWE, he's WWE champion. A couple maybe I don't want to say multiple times. It was maybe a couple more times he was WWE champion. Um, and of course, Stone Cold and The Rock, they had one more match. They had one last match, and I think that was, gosh, man, oh, I know it was WrestleMania. I don't want to say it was WrestleMania 19. It might have been WrestleMania 19, but I don't think so. That's too soon because if you go 18, I don't think it was WrestleMania 19. I just know it was WrestleMania, and keep in mind this time The Rock was a heel again because The Rock's gimmick was, oh, now I'm Hollywood. Oh, I don't need the WWE or the fans. So The Rock, had a cynical like character, narcissist. Had his nose up in the air type character. So that's how he became a heel again. So yeah, again they had that one last match, and of course The Rock wins that. So basically for me, this rivalry, it was just great on all levels. Would I put it up there with the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin rivalry? Yeah, I would like to say this is a close second, if not Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin 1A, The Rock Stone Cold 1A or 2A, however you want to address it. But yeah, for me, this is why the rivalry stood out for me. That's why till this day I even watch this historic rivalry here and there because it just brought that real effect to it. It just it brought a real effect that I really don't see in wrestling all that much anymore. I mean times change, people change, things change. I know that sometimes evolution can go in a direction that it's not supposed to go in, but again, it's not for me to. It's not up to me to make that decision because I just don't have that type of money. I'm not in that field to be able to make these type of decisions to try to say, hey, look, why are we going this way? Why don't we continue to go the way we were going? Like the old saying goes, if it's not broke, why fix it? But yeah, for me, again, this rivalry just at that time when I watched it, and again till this day when I watch it, it just goes to show you these two iconic superstars' ability to entertain the fans, to entertain people. Period. And yeah, we all know how the story ended. The Rock goes on to have a phenomenal acting career. Stone Cold, he was in a few movies here and there. They was good. I liked them, especially that one. What was it called? The Condemn. I thought that was a pretty cool movie where he plays a convict, and along with these other convicts, they're put on an island, or yeah, I like to think it's an island, and of course they're being forced to just what's that? All bets are off. Like the what's that? The Purgatory? No, not Purgatory. I'm sorry. The Purge. The Purge. It's something. It was something like that movie, but it wasn't. Where anything goes. Hey, y'all can whatever. And I think the prize was whoever survives would get a full pardon or something like that. If that makes sense. So yeah, Stone Cold in that movie, I liked it. I thought he was great in that movie. So yeah, these guys are still relevant to this day. Keep that in mind too. Um, there was even rumors. I think Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to participate in this year's WrestleMania as well as The Rock was going to participate. But I think those are just rumors. But again, these guys are still relevant to this day. And like I said, again, for me, this is one of the greatest rivalries I've ever seen. I appreciate y'all listening. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, hit that button too. But I appreciate the views more. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. You and your family. Facts for the Ghost. One love. Later.